Break it down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's up? You good, homie? Yo, where's your sound? Damn. What up to all the people in the comments? We just had it. We were just talking for. Hold on, people. Hold on. Wagwan. Something happened.
Okay, I think I cleared the problem.
Boom. We back. Back like cooked crack.
Okay, I think I cleared.
Oh no, it's a cable.
Okay, got it. Yeah. I had too many windows open and it was playing for. Okay, there we go. No, we back. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yo, what up, Colleen? What up, home girl? Holding it down. People. Yeah, you good? Do I hear you? Logik?
Okay. There we go. Okay. Now it is fixed. I figured out what the problem was. Okay. Boom. All right. Yeah. We are here. Yes. 2 minutes later into the jam, but it's all good though, man. Reminisce Show, carrying the traditions of Sankofa, because sometimes we got to go back to collect what we may have forgotten. So you already know, man, we are here. Technical difficulties, but that's okay though, man. That's okay. We got a jam-packed show, lots to discuss, and we're going to bring it to you before that. Let's get our check-ins, brother. How are you feeling?
Yo, I'm feeling good. Thank you, yo. I had a good workout today. I got some rice and peas here. I had a patty and a bun. Nice. Yeah, it was good. Went to Kensington. It was nice. Shout out to Danilo. I saw Danilo from Pangea Project. Ian Kamau's homeboy. He's doing well. He was doing some graffiti.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I saw him like last week or last week, like Thursday actually at Central Tech. You know what I mean? He's working with some students and whatnot, and I just saw him doing what he does, like this sketching on the stairs, and I was like, yo, D, what up? And so it's kind of cool that that you saw him as well, man. Yo, shout out Dre, man. Mind Bender, Logical Ethics, man. Yo, that's a throwback name right there, man. That's like, you know what I mean? If you know, you know. Shout out my brother, man, Dre.
Yeah. So how you doing? How you doing, Logik?
Yo, man, I'm doing good, man. Feeling blessed, feeling blessed and highly favored. Yo, I'm just like looking forward to like warm weather. I'm gonna keep talking about it until it's actually here. You know what I mean? Like, got a bike, and I'm just ready to just hit the road and just be outside all day, every day. That's all I can talk about because that's all I can think about. And I think it's because I spend so much time in front of a computer, which I love. Don't get it twisted. But I also like to be outside in nature as well. You know what I mean? It's like the earth sign, Virgo in me and all that stuff. But yo, I'm excited to hear about, all these concerts and things that are slowly rolling out. Like I said, I want to be outside. I don't care where, just outside. And I want to hear music. You know what I mean? So I'm in for all that, man. So that's just kind of where I'm at right now.
It's slowly returning. Peace to all those who couldn't make it this far, but peace to all those who are keeping us going. So, yeah, man, the world things are slowly coming back. Concerts, and it's mostly what we lost. It's we had a lot of television to get us through stuff. So peace to television and all that. Everyone's watching that, but we didn't have concerts, and we didn't have concert culture, and we didn't have festivals, and we didn't have public gatherings with loud music, and that is, we had that before we had television. So that is without question something that's part of the human fabric, and that's just the community we talk about. So every one of the people that's been on our show was part of the community that we've been connected to. So it's good to see it coming back.
That's it, man. Got to keep it going, keep it moving, keep it flowing, yo.
Yep. So, but we also we've been dropping jewels, dropping news. So what's in the news for you that hit your head?
Well, first thing that came to mind is the Rolling Loud concert that's coming to Toronto. You know, I've heard of Rolling Loud, that's popular in Miami and other places. And I found this like video trailer. I haven't it's only like 30 seconds, but
that's cool.
I might as well play it. Just to share this vibe. The bill is actually insane. There's like quite a bit of people on here, and from Toronto, so really Toronto centric. But then there's some like major artists as well who's on the bill, which I think is pretty cool. But let me see what this trailer is. I don't know if it's going to say anything, but whatever. Let's see what's up.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Toronto.
Let's go. Concert culture coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm gonna see if I can just find like the list of like artists who are just like on that. You know what I mean? Just to kind of, like Little Uzi Vert, A Boogie with a Hoodie, Roy Woods, Little Sky, some of these people I'm not sure. Mula First, TV Gucci, Tia Banks, Little Yachty, Pressa, Robin Banks, Havaya Mighty, Migos, Nav, Lil TJ, Lil Tecca, Belly. Oh, Pangs is on this too. Wow. Yo, okay. As I'm reading this list, there's like a lot of, how can I put it? Different ends, different hoods in Toronto that like are conflicting with each other, that are on the bill and whatnot, which it's a good look, but now I'm thinking about like the logistics of it, of like bringing all these people together, because these artists have entourages and so on and so forth, and then you mix all these different elements in one place. It's intriguing. I don't know. WizKid is headlining, Future is headlining, so that's pretty interesting. I definitely like WizKid. But anyways, I'm just gonna leave it at that. This is a very interesting lineup. This is probably one of the biggest concerts in Toronto that we've ever seen in a while, just based on the lineup. It's a 3-day festival, September 9th to 11th, which is like just the day after my birthday, actually. So I don't know, man. I might have to, September, man. September's my month, man. That's my time to shine. So.
Oh man, you got a Wu-Tang pre-show, and then you got a Rolling Loud party.
Oh man, I need it.
That's for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Well, we're gonna see. Hopefully people can keep the peace and enjoy the concert. That would be nice, and we're gonna see. There's a couple other concert things happening. I heard that Conway is coming in a couple weeks. There's a Griselda show coming. I don't exactly know where, but people keep talking about it. There's a few other shows that I just wanted to mention, because one of them for sure I want to be at no matter what. Lil Nas X is doing his first world tour. And I'm going to see that. Fuck that. Hell yeah. Lil Nas X is like cool. So he's doing a world tour that's coming out soon. And Lizzo and Lato are going on tour together. And I'm not the biggest fan of Lizzo, even though I heard that she does a good show. But Lato, you know Lato?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So I want to see Lato, yo. Lato, like, I'll never forget. Lotto got on the Shook Ones Part 2 beat and murdered it, man. I was like, yo, this is dirty. What she did on that beat, I was like instant fan. I was like, this girl, she's one of the ones. It's like super ill MCing, got fucking bars. So like, I'm a Lotto fan now. So yeah, she's on tour. So yeah, but yeah, there's a few of the shows popping up. All right. What else is yeah, well, I got that. I want to save that till a little later. I want to shout out. Well, I want to shout out the homie Collision, but we can save that till a little closer to the end.
All right. Well, okay. So, we'll we can definitely circle that because we had Collision, come through to the Reminisce Show and dropping some of his extensive like history and just how he was able to navigate the Toronto scene and create something really powerful. I will forever remember the Tough Dumpling show at the Reverb, which Reverb doesn't exist. But when he had the show and he had like $2 like jerk chicken and rice at the concert, to this day, I still don't understand why hip hop venues do not sell food in the venue. Like hip hop, you know what I mean? Caribbean food, I think it makes perfect sense. And when I saw Collision do that, so I'll forever, that was some really innovative stuff. I was like, yo, always big up him to that, man.
Yo, you know what? And also that would just really go towards making the vibe good and making it feel more like a family gathering and just make things more peaceful. You're like, yo, I'm not just gonna get drunk and on an empty stomach and then just get violent because I'm hungry. Be like, yo, man, I have a nice piece of food and I don't want to get dirty. And
that's exactly what it is, man.
Man, we're it's like a barbecue, man. Don't fuck up the barbecue vibes. Like we're all just eating.
True indeed, bro.
Like, it's like family, yo. You see man's eating like family. You be like, yo, that's just like me. Like,
that's it.
Why mess this up?
100, man. 100, yo. Yo, on that note, what was I gonna say, man? There's, I don't know if you want to go into it, man, with Megan the Stallion. Okay, so those who've been watching, man, know that we've been discussing Tory Lanez quite a bit in relation to the ongoing core stuff of Megan the Stallion, who was allegedly shot in the leg, and all kinds of stuff has been going on. But she recently sat down and did like an interview, and a lot of people, there's a lot of like mixed feelings about it. To be honest, I never watched the full thing, but I am going to show this like clip right here, and hopefully this kind of gives a bit of context. So we will see, and we'll just have a little discussion about that, man. So let's see what's going on here, man, because we do need clarity, and I think it's important to see both sides. I'm not here, I stand on a very neutral space, man, because there's a lot of stuff there's just so much, so it's just best to observe, see both sides, and then let the courts do their thing. But let me see what we got here.
Exactly that. Like, to deliver true justice, I know how I feel, but I also know that I don't know everything.
Right.
And I want to know more facts than I have right now. There's still a few questions to ask. And I don't want to like just point fingers out of nowhere. Even if I do believe that I know who's guilty or whatever, I'm still willing to listen to more details. And the real trial has to go through the system. Like, exactly. Nobody should be judged in the court of public opinion because it ain't fair. It's not
exactly. All right, man. All right, so let's see what Taguan
is standing up over the window, shooting, and I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick, because I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he can shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me. Like,
were you afraid for your life at that time?
I was really scared because I had never been shot at before. I looked down at my feet and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm really bleeding. Mm-hmm. So I like dropped down and I crawled in somebody's driveway. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't believe you shot me.
And what is he saying, Tory Lanez saying?
He's apologizing. He's, I'm so sorry. please don't tell nobody. I'll give y'all $1 million if y'all don't say nothing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you offering me money right now? Help me.
I mean, regardless, this is a terrible situation. I mean, I think unless you were in that car, nobody's going to know.
Okay, well, we don't really need to hear from them, but yeah, that's just a clip. I mean, there's probably like more to it than that. Like, I may watch the full interview later on or something like that. But well, I mean, what are your thoughts? Just based on that clip there. What are some thoughts and feelings for that?
As you said, it's not the full story, but if those details are accurate and he can say, and if he doesn't dispute that, that's pretty fucked up and whack. I did see a little clip right before that where she they asked again what another thing that he was saying right when he was shooting, and I saw Megan say he said dance bitch when he was shooting at her feet. So I was
something like that.
I was like, yo, if that's true, that's fucked up. And like Tory hasn't said really anything publicly. Obviously he's self-defense right now, so maybe we'll have to wait till the actual court. He really shouldn't be saying anything in like public. So, but like, yeah, if those are accurate, that's fucked up. But like, it's just like, I don't know what is not accurate about this, but the story has to come out, like the whole story, and Tory has to speak his side of the story about what his experience was, what he takes responsibility for doing. Like, hey, did you have a gun, dude? Did you not have a gun? Did you shoot that gun? Did you not shoot that gun? Like, were you like, what did you do, and will you cop to? And then what are you saying that she's making up? I want to have both of those people's, have their stories out there, and then we,
right.
I feel better about making some kind of. But yeah, how about you? Like, what do you know? How do you feel about what she said?
Yeah, like I said, man, it's I know when it comes to like, especially like I'm just like sensitive when it comes to like women in these vulnerable positions, and they're in a position where they have to like prove their like their assaults and whatnot. I think that's a really strange space to be in. So yeah. I'll always have like part of me that's just like automatically like, okay, I'm empathetic and compassionate to all of that.
Exactly. Which is why I thought like automatically I thought he's guilty. Fuck that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I should preface it with that. I don't want to take away from her pain, but go on.
Yeah. No, true indeed. So like, when it comes to that, like I know it's challenging. But I also say like watching, like the interview, I don't know, like it's just again, like, this is just strictly observation purposes. Like, I mean, like I'm not connected to the story in any way, just some social observation. It seemed a little off to me, I mean, just the emotions, and again, this is just my perspective. Don't shoot the messenger. The emotion just seemed just a little bit like forced, and just like I don't know. It just seemed like something's a little off, and that's not to say that what she's saying isn't true. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that like it just seemed a little forced, and like really trying to like squeeze the emotions like out, and they just weren't coming out the way I feel maybe was desired and whatnot. But like I said, this is just a social observation just from watching this, and that's why I need to see the full interview. But like that little clip, like I don't know. Like it's just something just feels a little off about this, and I say all that to say that that's not to discredit what she's saying and to call her a liar, because like I'm just not even going to that space. I'll always take the benefit of the doubt, and really pay attention to those who are in the victim space. So yeah, that's all I got to say to that. It's really interesting. So
yeah, and I don't know why the hell it's taken so long for the trial to happen. Like feels like it's been almost 2 years. So it's just like, yo, just run it through the damn system, man. I don't think he's gone on tour, but he's obviously been releasing music, and he's obviously not in jail. But I heard he got arrested. I heard he got recently arrested for violating the probation but then he paid his bail for that and then drove away in a Lamborghini. So like, it's just like, what the fuck? This American justice system's all fucked up and the story's muddled and it's just a mess. And it's just like, yo, man, I just like, what I like to speak about is I wish people get the right punishment for the right crime. Get the real person who's guilty and then punish them for the right amount. Not too much or not too little. Like, no slap on the wrist and no fucking like throwing black men in jail for 25 years for fucking like a vial of crack. Like, fuck all that. So, but yeah, so like, yeah, if he, like, Tory, what you actually did, like, admit to it or fucking get a cop camera to show what he did or whatever, and or the third witness in the back. Apparently there was one other person there, so it's just like, what the fuck? Like, just clear this damn shit up. But yeah, yo, we gonna see. Yo, I don't have much else to say. I just I am gonna share something very spoke about it a bit, and yeah. So this is just short, and yeah.
I like guys and girls. Spread the word.
Word. It's just.
What was the conversation after he just said that, and then everyone's just like, okay.
Well, sorry, this wasn't the original clip. Sorry, somebody else was talking about this. Oh shit, hold on. I guess there is part of the conversation after right here.
Earlier today, CEO of the LGBT plus Q plus organization Relationship Unleashed, Gwendolyn D. Clemens, revealed that she and others from the nonprofit signed off on the baby's appearance at Rolling Loud, New York this past weekend. And you got to get okayed by the gays to perform?
How do I spread this news? How do I spread the word?
I think you got to call the CEO.
Yo, yeah, listen.
You got to make sure it's okay.
I like guys and girls. Spread the word. I'm down.
All right, so the full context of that comment.
Okay, so there's more context to that. So, well, yeah.
Yeah, I need like more because it's like said in relation to like, you know, like an organization and then a hip hop show and like I don't know, like yeah, I need to learn more context of that to like even have like an opinion, because like is he just saying that in terms of just like to like bypass like, you know, authority or any kind of like backlash? I don't know what.
No, I don't think that he's just saying that because of the organization. I feel like this isn't the first time he said it. He said it twice on the show. I this just happened less than a week or two ago, this clip. But I was talking about it when he said it about 3 months ago. And like I think he realizes that we are in a time where it's like, yo, Lil Nas X and you know, Frank Ocean, these guys won Grammys, they're Billboard or like they're massive. It's not like it was in the late 90s in hip hop when Joe Budden's put out Pump It Up and everyone is just silently making skits about the gay rapper and you couldn't even like be out about it. So Joe is like yo, he's like just saying it, like yo. He doesn't have to make a big deal about it. He doesn't need to. And wisely, he shouldn't out his. He shouldn't be like, and here's my boyfriend. He doesn't have to show real people and out other people. He just has to be like, yo, man, like in my private life, my preference is guys and girls. And he just like spread the word. Like I'm not afraid. I'm a grown person. I'm not afraid to talk about it. Like actually fucking hundreds of other people in the music industry, except not in the mainstream hip hop industry. In the underground and the alternative parts of the hip hop industry, there's tons of queer, gay, lesbian, whatever people. But in like mainstream signed and out, there's like 5.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, there's way more women than men. You know, there's lots of queer and lesbian, whatever, women and black women, whatever, that's pretty comfortable. But as far as men, it's like less than 5. And like,
I mean, there's reason, you know, like the historic like context of that, and just like, you know, the shame and you know the cultural impacts. But yeah, you know, I think like people are just moving to a space of just like just don't really care, you know what I mean, like of like people's like sexualities and like what, you know, it's not, there's not so much like emphasis these days, you know what I mean, like and it's just interesting to see the general like response, and that's why I'm just gauging like general society of like how, because if this was like said in the 90s or whatever, like some people may be like super angry to the point where they might want to show up at his house and like beat him and shit, like, you know what I'm saying, like, but like the fact that people are just like all right, cool.
I mean, but that there's a fine line, and I totally agree with you. Like, one, it doesn't need to be front page headline news underline Joe Budden is gay. Like, it doesn't need to be scandalized. It doesn't need to be over fucking, but like it should be just like any other statement, like similar to being like so and so gets married, so and so is having a child. Like, yo, when Ellen Page became Elliot Page, they're like, I am transitioning from formerly woman to now man, and they're just like, I'm making a statement about my identity in the society, and that's it. Like, it's not a big thing, but it's also not a small thing, and like we don't. I just want to make this statement. We can all move on, but like, I would like those who respect the statement to hear it and support it, and hopefully nobody else does the opposite. Because, and if you don't agree, like, you don't have to do the historic bullshit about, oh, fuck you, go in the closet, don't talk about it, because that's what they did in the 1950s, but it's 2022. Like,
that's exactly what I'm saying. You know, it's like, you know, where I feel like we're at a place where, you know, this idea of like, you know, showcasing like hatred or disapproval or whatever, like people, you know, like the energy is being, you know, used in more positive like aspects, you know what I mean? I'm like, what was that one artist, Isaiah Ryder or whatever, like that could have been like a crazy whole like, you know, like shit show or whatever, but like surprisingly people were just kind of like, okay, like whatever, just let him do his thing. I was like, whoa, like, you know, that was bless, you know what I mean?
That was a actual thumbs up evolutionary step for hip hop culture. Isaiah Rashad.
Okay, that's what, right.
Isaiah Rashad from TDE, Kendrick's old label. But so Isaiah Rashad, I actually saw an intro that he did for a concert about a month ago, and it was pretty damn amazing. He did this intro, and it was in front of a massive crowd. It was at a big concert, not really a small venue. And he had an intro that was about a minute long, and it had a whole bunch of references to that moment. They're like, oh, Isaiah Rashad, outed in a gay tape, threesomes with men, And they're like, oh, what does this mean? Is he going to stop rapping? So it had a lot of the media clips, positive, negative. And they're like, is this going to stop him from rapping? And he's like, fuck no, boom. And then like he steps onto the stage and like it's his intro and he like uses it to be like, I don't give a goddamn, I'm gonna rock this shit. And everyone was like, yeah, kill it. And it was like, yeah, that's how you he just like was like, nah, man, like I'm not this ain't gonna fuck me up, man. Like whatever. So
well, no, that's blessed. And I think like, you know, we're moving into a state. I mean, you know, this we can talk about the age of Aquarius, you know what I mean? For those who are into astrology and whatnot, like we're moving into a time where it's about like authenticity, you know, instead of like spending this time of like blending into like certain groups and whatever, and falling into these like brackets that society puts onto us. It's like we can be like our authentic self, and that's what we contribute to like the collective whole, you know? So it's no coincidence that in this time period that there's a little more of that, like this kind of like unraveling. And I feel like we're going to see a lot more of that space. And, you know, I think just in general, like, you know, hopefully humanity will move more into a healthy space, because now there's this open-mindedness for understanding, you know, like you may not necessarily like agree or whatever. Everybody has their preference and perspectives, but you can understand and at least respect people in their positions and whatever. Right.
See,
so
that's the thing. Like when we were just talking about certain things in art and culture, but like you don't have to participate in it to respect it.
Yeah, exactly.
And me and my sex work, I do that all the time. I'm like, yo, sex is I can't say infinite, but there are literally hundreds and hundreds of fetishes and desires and fantasies that can be made and created. And I'm like, I specialize in like 5 or 10 specifically, and then there's like a whole bunch that I don't do. But I'm like, hey, I'm not into X, Y, and Z at all. But like, I respect the people who do X, Y, and Z. I want them to live a good life. They're adults. They're, respectful, mature. Like, I'm never going to be doing it, but I don't take anything away from them, which is exactly how I hope people approach gay and lesbian queer stuff in hip hop, because it's about that time. Like, I'm not saying like it's not you don't have to do it or whatever. It's just like, yo, you just have to respect that a rapper that you like maybe or probably is gay, and like it's all right. Like,
yeah, like it just kind of reminds me of just like society moving from like say like the 1940s and whatnot, and certain dynamics, and like I think like for things to shift in a culture, like it takes like a bit of time, you know what I mean, but it takes like consistent effort of constantly educating and like visibility definitely helps, because like the more you see it, the more it's not as like taboo, and it's just like, oh, okay, it's like it's just regular, it's like normal, so yeah, it's all, I feel like it's all part of the process, and we just got to be respectful and have compassion for humanity, however humanity shows up, and I think we will all be good. I'm looking in the chats here, man. I see Natalia, shout out Natalia, saying let me just go back a bit. So she's talking about the Megan Thee Stallion interview, saying her energy didn't feel authentic, but then she says she's been shot at first, so it could be hitting her now, and then we live in a society that is programmed to excuse bad behavior. Yeah, true.
It didn't feel inauthentic.
Yeah, inauthentic. Yes, inauthentic. Yeah, true indeed, man. And then going on to talk about Missy Elliott and the Brat, both succeeded rappers, about being into men in their lyrics when both were gay. That's effed up. That they weren't allowed to be free. Yeah, it's true indeed.
That's what I'm talking about. That's Natalia. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it's just like, yo, honestly, there's so many little moments across the culture that if you really saw like tiny steps forward or kind of steps to the side, and like it's not really a major stride forward, but it was like a minor win for just universal acceptance of different types of sexuality that weren't just straight up heterosexual man woman only. But the one I want to shout out is Missy Elliott's reality TV show that she had that I watched, and it was a female rapper show. Did you see it? Missy Elliott had this really dope female rapper show like 10 years ago, and the last 2 contestants were like pretty clearly lesbians, and like nobody ever talked about it. No, they didn't rap about it or whatever, but it like the woman who won was like, I'm queer. I can't tell everybody, obviously, but like there's some people I see them, I'm like, yo, it's awesome. You look queer. I think that's dope. More power to you. And I was like, yo, like the winner of this Missy Elliott show really looks like a queer black woman, which is dope. Yeah. But I was like, yo, like, they couldn't talk about it, but I was like, at least Missy Elliott, this is what Missy Elliott is doing. She like knows that like, yo, I can't be out, but I'm going to do what I can to help my girls. Huh. So, but yeah. And like, unfortunately, I don't think that she went on to have like a career, like a lot of people in those reality rapper shows, but yeah, like I'll never forget seeing that show. I was like, yo, it's like the elephant in the room. Missy Elliott's like really helping out these lesbians here. So, okay. But yeah.
But I don't know if you have another clip, but I want to play that DJ Envy clip. Since we're talking about like sexuality and whatnot, might as well,
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we don't really touch on these topics on the Reminisce Show, but it is like sexuality is definitely a big part of hip hop culture, and this is a really interesting one. So this is a clip of DJ Envy. He's one of the guys on like the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God and a whole other people's really popular podcast that does their thing. Also, known DJ in the scene. And he's out here with his wife, and she's talking about faking orgasms for like 10 years of their like relationship. And I guess, from the perspective of like, they got together when they were young and not really knowing what they're doing. And, as men, when it comes to sexuality, like we're taught to, come from like a performance, it's really performative based, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, let me just dominate and be aggressive. And that's what we do because that's what we're taught. And, no one really teaches us about, the intricacies of like intimacy and how like, a lot of things begin in the mind. It's not just all like physical, you know what I mean? Like there's like this energetic working, sculpting the sculpture type of vibe going on. You feel me? So, but I know you have a lot to say on this. I'm going to hold that for a bit. I just want to play this clip first, and then I'm going to let Mr. Doctor.
Really shortly, I'm not going to I just want to add to what you say. Like, people who have the awareness that we're living with a script and that men are supposedly supposed to be aggressive and dominant and women are supposed to be supposedly submissive, to say that just denies the fact that why don't you try something else? Why do we live in these scripts? Like, black men are all dominant. We're all not all monsters that are crack dealers. We don't all play basketball. So in the bedroom, why can't people rewrite any script and explore any other possibility? We're all adults. We really can. And we really should. We really should as black people. So as all people, but for sure, I'm just saying especially with black people, especially in hip hop, right here with Envy and the wife, I'm saying these specific people think, oh, we have to follow these scripts. Men have to be dominant. And if this man isn't even satisfying me with his dominance, as a woman, we have to pretend that we like it and we have to fake orgasms, and that's just how it goes. It's like, no.
Yeah, because there's that fear of like hurting like the male's like ego, you know what I mean? Because he needs to know that he's like delivering, but you're not delivering.
Especially that they're married, have the conversation and be like, oh, let's try something different. Let's
10 years.
10 years. I'm dying. My brain is exploding.
That's like basic. That's lying. You know what I mean? That's like straight up like that's like it's harm. Anyways.
Yeah. We won't get into it. Yeah, let's let them say.
We might do some exclusive and spend a little bit of time on this topic because it is. Okay, here we go.
Talking about your mentality overall,
all around,
just in life. Like, he lives to make me happy. And he puts his best foot forward in that realm. So I would see him trying and really going to work. And I'm sure so many women can relate. Like, you want to reward that man for that work. And the only reward that you have to offer is an orgasm. But even if I didn't feel it, I would still be performative. So yes, I was faking it. But once you start, how do you stop? Right. How do you climb back out of that rabbit hole? You can't really have a conversation about it now. So I actually did it to myself. But what's more important is the fact that it had nothing to do with him. Right. He was doing everything that a man could do to please a woman. The problem was that I didn't know my own body. And
you couldn't communicate what exactly you wanted.
Exactly. I had to learn that first. And what the problem was, I was so busy performing and putting on a show that I didn't take the time to be pleased. I didn't take the time to enjoy it because that wasn't my priority. My priority was him. And that comes from a place where, ever since we're young, we're sold these false narratives that women are sex objects. Women are here for the pleasing of men. Women are toys. You see it on billboard ads. You see it on the cover of books. You see it in, car magazines. You see it everywhere. Sexy women draped across something, advertising something. So we're kind of subconsciously led to believe those things. And for me, this is how it played out in my life.
And everything is all good there.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me just see what she says after this. Hold on.
No, right?
Oh yeah, he's awesome. I figured out my problems.
Hurt my heart though. I ain't gonna lie. Hurt my heart. I might have cried a couple of times, but it helped our relationship even better.
But on a more serious note, me doing that was very, very detrimental, and it put into effect the fall of a series of dominoes that hurt our relationship in the absolute worst way. It was actually one of the reasons why he cheated.
So do you feel like
Okay. So there's a lot there to like unpack. There's just so much.
Oh gosh.
Okay, what is your observation? Go ahead, brother.
I mean, the first thing I want to say is, as you were saying, that amount of lying. I mean, I'm not sure what I would do if somebody lied to me for 10 years, but like, it's good that they were mature enough for her to be like, yo, that started a domino effect that led to him cheating, because the amount of, I've been betrayed. And I had a 7-year relationship that ended with a massive level of betrayal that happened in like one night. They just had one night, and I was like, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. But like, I have never been lied to for 10 years. And if, holy, like, and also she was doing a lot of the talking, and she also cut him off at the end. And that's another thing that I'm like, huh? But yeah, there's so much to unpack and all that. Like, what other things came to mind for you?
Well, yeah, there's definitely, you can tell there's like a power dynamic like in this, like, like she's definitely has that like authoritative, like she's controlling the narrative, and then, and be like, I can tell like he's been sitting there very quiet, like even like the look on his face and whatnot, like, he's just, and then he wanted to say something and jump in, and then it was just like, and then it got like cut, and then she interjected again so that she can kind of control. So that says a lot about like the dynamics of the relationship. But in terms of like saying like the whole like orgasm piece, and then kind of getting locked into this like repetitive space of like, how do you like get out of it? It's like, whoa. Yeah, it's deep, what I mean? Because then it's just like inauthentic, and that just kind of creates this, and they're like, oh, it's not working or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting, and she did mention a lot of points that come up in hip hop, how like women are objectified and, so used to sell different products, and we're not really shown the aspects of like, intimacy and, to an extent, I'll agree that a lot of this like deeper self-awareness comes like a little bit like later in life with like experience. But when you're just kind of going through it, you're not really like paying attention, and some people are just not aware, but when you have that awareness, then you can do some research, and a lot of it goes into like self-healing and maybe like past traumas, and there's so much like work to be done in order to get to those higher levels. But
you're right. You're absolutely right, and it is work, and it's why, I mean, they said that they had a process and there was a domino effect of things, but like with 10 years of lying, like she's like, how do you stop? She's like, oh, well, I faked my first orgasm, and then you're just stuck in a little cycle. Then you just keep doing it. Now, how do you end it? And it's like, for me, I'm like, I always use the term moment of truth, because if you don't have certain moments of truth with people, like, what the fuck? It's all lies and pomp and circumstance and Babylonian respectable bullshit and all fraudulent and fuckery and masks and costumes and patterns, where it's like, if you don't have moments of truth in your relationships, you're just both faking it to each other. So it's like, and especially in the bedroom, like, how do you end that shit? She's saying, like, you just stop and be like, you stop before 10 years. You stop at like the 10th time you did it, or like after 10 days of faking, you're like, oh, you know what? I've been faking it for 10 days, and we're married to each other, so like, I should solve this before like we're like old people.
And that's
like, it is complicated. I think, for sure it is complicated, and I'm glad I didn't disagree with everything she said, but I was like, yo, that you have an unhealthy pattern that I'm glad you're trying to solve, and you shouldn't be putting him through this. And like, nobody should be lying to each other about your partner about anything. Like, that's relationships are about truth, like, period. So,
And also too, like, like when it comes to like the whole lying aspect and having like the fear of telling the truth, that again can go back to like, this is why like, inner child healing and like shadow work is like so like important. And like relationships usually will show you that. I know, like, in my experiences, man, that's like showed me a lot about myself, what I mean? Because you're put up in this mirror and you're put in certain situations that bring out different elements of yourself, so because it's a vulnerable place to be, it's the intimacy and all that kind of stuff. So, I get it. I know that there's a lot, and that, you know, I would definitely wish them well. But like from the context of hip hop, I feel like these are like the conversations that need to be more like normalized and not just like the glamour stuff that we see. You know what I mean? When you scroll on Instagram or whatever, there's a lot of like glossy and polished like images and whatnot, but we're not seeing like the real. Like, so shout out to them for being like this vulnerable, because it is challenging. You know what I mean? That's really, it's like, it's very vulnerable, especially for DJ Envy, especially. Yes. So I can only imagine people are like, yo, that means your wife never had an orgasm for 10 years. Like, what are you saying, bro? Like, and you know, like, so I appreciate just like the compassion, and, you know, hopefully, you know, they're able to like figure out what the needs are and whatnot. But these are very, very important conversations.
Absolutely. And I've never had more respect for DJ Envy than I've had in the last week, seeing these interviews and stuff. I have his mixtapes. I've been collecting them for 20 years, and he's been really silent. I didn't know he was married. I didn't know he had 5 kids. I didn't know that he stuck with his wife after she got attacked in a New York club and got her face slashed. Wow. So like, I'm like, yo, there's all these other levels to it. And I have so much respect for what we're doing here. For me, is nothing but constructive criticism, which like all good relationships be like, yo, we're not perfect. We're just working shit out. And we actually are trying to keep together, and we're not giving up on each other. Like I have nothing but I have much respect for both of these two people, even though, like, you know, obviously it's not perfect. I think she's being a little too aggressive or like a little too dominant, but whatever. He might like that. Whatever. It's all good. They seem happy. Yeah. And like, I'm saying this to say, like, when you were like, not that she needed to say it, but she did say it, and she was like, yo, he was doing everything in his power to satisfy me. He was giving his all, but I was lying to him, so he didn't know any better. So it's like, she's like, it's not like he was like not a man because he couldn't say it. He was like, I was tricking him, so it was on me. And I was like, that's a dope conversation to have in hip hop. It's rarely been had. Like, let's talk about women faking orgasms in the bedroom, like, and like guys who are trying their hardest. They're like, this is, I think that it's working, and like, I don't know otherwise because you're not telling me otherwise. So they had and they solved it. So I'm like, this is dope. Respect to them. But it's like, it's a really hard, like, damn, 10 years of lying. Whew, that's a hard one to get through, but they got through it. So
yeah. And for me, it's like, I don't know, like the body doesn't lie, you know what I mean? Like, so I mean, to be convinced of, you know, that a fake orgasm is like a real, that's kind of deep to me, you know what I mean? Like, I'll leave it at that, you know what I mean?
For real.
Lie. But anyways,
orgasm is not all vocal. There are bodily reactions that, or it's like, you can't fake a sneeze, really. You can't fake certainly, like, you know a fake sneeze from a real sneeze. Like, that's a good analogy. You can't fake a vomit, really. Like,
right? Yeah, yeah. You can make the sound a little bit.
Natalia, what she's saying there, she's definitely programmed, but also using excuses which evade accountability. I love it, for real. I faked it because he wasn't pleasing me and I didn't know how to ask him. She prevented him from growing in the bedroom. Oh yes, I agree with that. And I'm going to end it off. Like, I started with a thought, what I was going to say, but you have given me the cherry for my cake, because I wanted to say, I saw a saying last week that is a lifelong saying. It's powerful. It said, when people get into relationships together, they forget it's not automatic that you know how to love each other. You have to learn how to love new people. And that's what you stick around for. You have to, it's a new person, you have to learn how to love them in the way that works for both of you. So
everybody has everybody has their different like love languages and just different ways. And then also we all have our own programming, you know what I mean? Like we all have it, you know, it's just like how we all have biases, but it's just about having like the awareness of it so that we know how to navigate. And then also the desire, you know, for like accountability and striving to, you know, do the right thing and whatnot. So
that's it. I made a mistake and I'll do better. And like, that's all you can do, which it looks like they're doing. So it's like, peace.
No, it's dope. It's dope.
Yeah.
If I were them, like, like I was going to say, like, if I was them, man, like, that's an opportunity for maybe like a sidebar, like podcast where they can just like interview other couples and relationships and just make it like a thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's ways to kind of use this energy that may be seen as embarrassing or whatever, but like, and just kind of flip it. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, who knows?
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real. Because it's not even embarrassing. I mean, it can be seen as embarrassing if you're caught in your ego about it. But what it is just going through the process that is required for healing. And it's like, yo, you know, it's like, yo, man, we all got to be vulnerable when we're healing. If we go to the hospital, we're like in front of the doctor is looking at our nuts or our genitals or our wound, or we're like, whatever, like, oh, this is embarrassing. But it's like, you got to do that to heal, fam. Like, you're going to see your wound. Like, you need this. So just do it and you'll heal. So.
Accurate, man. Accurate.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, we can end off on the homie.
Run that, man. Yo, exclusive vinyl, man. Tough Dumping Productions, man. Yo, shout out to the brother there, man. Like, yo, Collision representing. I do believe you mentioned there's a listening party coming up.
Yes. Like,
when is that?
Look how dope this is.
Aki Banana. Yeah. I love that branding, yo. Like, that's consistent. So consistent, man.
On. That's OG. So you can see we're having a listening party
April 29th.
This Friday.
Jeez.
Yes. RSVP at Tough Dumpling.
Secret location.
Yeah. So yeah. It's happening Friday, and it's at the Pilot. I'm just gonna throw it out there for all the people who've been watching the show. It's
not a secret.
It's a bit of a secret if you don't know. If you don't know to watch the Reminisce Show, and then you don't. But yeah, Friday it's going down. And Collision, same good energy, same dope hip hop. 10 new songs. This is his first project since the little piece of vinyl that he put out in 1999.
Okay.
So big him up.
All right.
But yeah, man, yeah, yo. That's most of my news. I feel good. Shout out to Toronto. The vibes are coming back a little. Couple parties. Oh, yo, I don't know if we mentioned it. The Nas and Wu-Tang show happening on. Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. But hey, we can always talk about that. We can talk about it every session, man, because like these are like important groups. Like when I think of like my involvement in hip hop, my desire to even become an MC, specifically like Wu-Tang and Nas specifically. So you know, being able, I've seen Nas perform a couple times, you know, filmed him, you know, same with the Wu-Tang and whatnot. So seeing these guys and they're just still doing their thing, man, it's just nothing short of like excellence to me. You know, it's beautiful.
Yeah, for real. Like my fathers, my uncles, my brothers, my mentors, heroes. Oh, yeah, everything. Seeing it every time. Like it's just, I love it. I love all the people. Shout out to everybody who gathers, because every time we come, it's a certain type of hip hop family reunion. When those certain groups like that come to town, it's like certain people are like, yo, I ain't coming out unless like it's a Wu show. Like certain heads are like that. And quickly, I did want to actually talk a little bit about the Pusha T album. Pusha T.
Oh yes. Pusha T.
Did you hear it?
I did. I actually took a full listen to it today. Like, you know what I mean? I was doing a workshop at a school and I had the chance to listen to that on my commute. Yo, man, like it's pretty fresh, yo. I like it. You know, for his genre of music, and how it's just amazing, like how many times he can rap about like the same thing and make it sound fresh and new every time.
Well, I mean, it wasn't horrible for me, but like he only had one line about his son, like, and I'm like, I want to hear him rap about a little more than coke. Or even like if he does rap about coke, I want concept songs or like different emotional vulnerability than, because like
I hear you, but that's not like based on Pusha T's interviews, which I prefer, by the way. Like I like his interviews over his music any day. Like
wow.
His interviews, like you really get to see like a scope of like who he is. He's very like transparent and open and vulnerable in his interviews, Music wise is a specific lane that he holds and he keeps there. His brand, he's just like it's a really like specific like outlet for him. So for him to be vulnerable in the sense of like showing his son and whatever and all these different things, like music isn't the space where he's going to do that. Although I agree with you. But for him, because I watch a lot of his like interviews and how he is like in the interviews, like, you know, you really get to see this transparent perspective of his views. And he's like very like clear and very like clear and concise and precise with his delivery and what he does. You know, so that's why I can say it like that. Yeah.
I sincerely appreciate what you're saying, and I can honor that even on a higher level. Like, I haven't seen barely any of his interviews in a long ass time. But I will also double down on that by saying I interviewed the Clips in like 1999, and I had a wonderful interview with them. It was at Much Music. We had a great thing. Pusha asked for my autograph, man. Like, so this was literally like 20 years ago. So I'm like, oh, you know, I was like, you know, and this was like my personal experience with him. But I had a great interview with them at Much Music. And when I gave them my CD, he was like, yo, can you sign this for me? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I will never forget. He's like, yeah, can you sign me your CD, man? I appreciate you giving me your music. And I was like, okay, Push. But like, yeah, I didn't know that these interviews he was just killing it like that. But yeah, no, the music, like, it was good. But when he was saying it was album of the year, I just heard it and I was like, this isn't album.
So I know we're kind of going over time, but just because.
Hold on. I don't know.
Kind of going over time, but just because, man, like, you know, this is pretty exclusive. So back in, what year is this, man? 2004, man. I actually got to interview Pusha T, man, at the Danforth. I'm just gonna play a quick clip of this just because, you know, I like to show, yo, man, we really out here in this hip hop scene. We exclusive, man. We with all the peoples, and this will give you an idea. Just even the way how he talks, like he's like a different person in interviews compared to like his persona in music, which is interesting. But here, let's just see.
I may do like a little chopping, like a fresh streetwear scene or whatever. But other than that, man, I really just chill. Really chill. I remember the first time I was out this way, I connected with Carter now. And, you know, that's always a fun moment just because, you know, I was young in the game then.
Yo, man.
Yeah,
he's already giving way more than he gives in his songs already.
That's what I mean, though. Like, wow. You know,
wow.
I'll tell you this, like $1 million worth of game. People's interview, and that's a recent interview, and then he has a recent interview with like the Breakfast Club. You know,
yeah, man.
And they are like really good interview. Like I said, like that's why like I respect him in the music. People want something different. It's like, no, he does what he does very well. Like he understands his lane. He's talking about, he's like, yo, like I chill, man. I drop an album every 3 years, like whatever. Like, you know, I come through, do my thing, fade to black. You know what I mean? He's like married now, and so he's really like private with the stuff. But in his interviews, if it's asked, like he'll definitely, you know, add a little 1-2 or whatever. But yeah, his interviews are impressive still.
Word. Well, yo, man, I'm gonna make a move in a sec.
All right, let's do it, man.
Great talk, yo, Colleen, Natalia. Oh, yo, all our people listening to us, checking us out. I thank you for reminiscing with us. And yeah, you know, it's not always so sexy, but you know, today was a little sexier than usual. But you know,
all day, every day, yo. All right,
Beats, rhymes, life, and love. Yeah,
that's it, man. Reminisce Show every Tuesday, carrying the traditions of Sankofa, because sometimes we got to go back and collect what we may have forgotten, man. So we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
We out.